Yuma with Johnny Porter. It's 10 o'clock.
Got wheels you don't need? KAWC and Border Radio's car donation program takes more than just cars. We might take your trucks, RVs, buses, ATVs, motorcycles, maybe even that Humvee or dusty old tractor. Your donation supports local programming and clears out your garage. So learn more at kawc.org/cars.
What's up, Yuma? I'm Johnny Porter.
And I'm Veronica Shore.
And on today's program, we're going to be joined first by Karina Jones, who you might know from the United Way. But
incredible community leader.
And she's not there anymore. She's doing something else now, Veronica.
Oh, I can't wait to find out.
Yeah, we're going to find out what that is, as well as our very own Victor Calderón. We're going to talk to him about news and what's it like without Lou Gum over there.
Yuma's biggest sports fan, too.
Oh, he is all over in Twitter. You got to follow him on there. So stay with us for What's Up Yuma Radio, beginning right now on KOFA 94.7 FM.
And streaming online at borderradioaz.org and on the KOFA app. You can also view our show on the Border Radio Facebook page and the KAWC YouTube page. And don't forget that you can reach out to us by email at whatsupyumaradio@gmail.com.
Chili from Philly. Nick Papa Giorgio from Yuma.
What's up, Yuma? Welcome back to another episode of What's Up Yuma Radio. I'm Johnny Porter.
And I'm Veronica Shore.
We did it right that time.
Yay.
Yay us.
Yay us.
Yeah, good job. Good job, guys. All right. And today we are joined by Karina Jones. And I had mentioned from the United Way because how long were you there?
I was there for 14 years.
14 years. My goodness. I could never keep a job that long. But it must be because you did a good job. Did she do a good job, Veronica?
She did a fantastic job there.
Okay.
Yeah, incredible.
Yeah, but you're not there anymore, and we're going to get to what you're doing now.
Yeah.
We're going to get to that. But as always on the show, we got to get to know our guests. We want to know what makes Karina tick,
Okay.
what keeps her going, and how she kept a job for so long. We're going to do that, all right? So let's start with from Yuma.
Yeah. I wasn't born here, but I've been here since I was
okay.
2.
Where were you born?
I was born in Douglas, Arizona.
Douglas, Arizona. What is
tiny little?
Yeah, I've never even heard of it. No, I've heard of it, but what's in Douglas, Arizona? Nothing.
I'm just kidding.
Yeah, but just
Karina.
My family.
do you go to like family reunions over there?
I do. My family's
okay.
over there. My dad has a really big family.
Okay.
So there's 9 siblings in total.
And then that's the whole population of Douglas. It's just her family.
Pretty much. It's a border town. So really small town, 1 high school, 1 movie theater, a Walmart.
Near
it's grown
Tucson?
a little bit, but
Is it near
it's on
Tucson?
the way. Yeah. You have to keep going south to, and then you hit Douglas eventually. Service to.
So it is like right on the border? Is it like a
right
San
on the border,
Luis?
like San Luis.
Okay.
So right on the border. Yep.
Gotcha. So your family's from there. What did your family do in Douglas? Like,
so
because
they
usually
were teachers.
Okay.
They were
like,
teachers.
Transplant, or then their families from there, like your grandparents?
My dad's family is from there. They were actually from the Mexico side, came over to Douglas, and both of my parents, they met at NAU. So they met at NAU, moved back to Douglas for a little bit, and then eventually ended up in Yuma because my mom's family is from San Luis.
Oh, gotcha. Wow. So both border towns.
Right.
But all right, there's a connection. And so they were teachers in Douglas for a little while you were 2?
Yeah. They started as teachers and then they came over here and still stuck with the education. Both of them retired from public education, became teachers, and then eventually administrators, and then both retired from that.
What did they teach?
They've taught ESL classes, 3rd grade. They were vice principals and then principals. So a lot in the elementary level.
And all here in the Yuma School District.
In the Yuma School District, yeah.
And are both from Mexico?
Yeah. Both were born in Mexico.
Both born in Mexico, came over here.
First gen.
Oh,
yeah.
wow. I love those stories. Absolutely. So Douglas, you're there, you're 2. You don't even know that there's nothing going on. You know,
you don't even know where Douglas is.
But then you come to Yuma when you're young. Where'd you go to elementary school?
So I feel like I stayed on the block. I went to Roosevelt, then I went to Post, and then 4th Avenue and Yuma High.
That's the block.
You did. You stayed on
the yeah.
North End Yuma there.
Yeah.
What did you like being on the north side, the north end of life?
I loved it. I feel Tyrone and I joke, my husband Tyrone, that I just lived the majority of my life on that side because United Way for the longest time was even on First Street too. So I just lived on that side of town all the time. And my parents were actually school teachers. We didn't live on that side, but my parents started. My mom was at Roosevelt. My dad was at Post. So
so they were over there.
Side,
so where'd you live?
We lived by Woodard, off like near St. Francis.
Yeah. Okay. So you would have went to that.
Would have gone
there, but since your parents are over there, so
yeah,
you're on the north side, growing up over there, and you went to Yuma. You said then.
Yeah.
Right?
Go Crims.
Yeah.
With shout out to Yuma Criminals. Did you like it there at Yuma?
I loved it. I love Yuma High. I am a criminal through and through.
All right, don't say that.
We actually we went to high school together.
Oh, did you
Yeah,
really?
we did.
Oh, okay.
I'm much older than her, but we were,
Like you were there
at the
sometime.
same time.
When did you graduate, Veronica?
2004.
What about you?
Oh, wait.
Oh, eight? Oh,
Mhm.
cool. Very cool.
So you were coming in and I was
Yeah,
leaving,
yeah.
something like that.
Yeah, Veronica's like, peace out. Good luck over
Yeah,
here. No.
yeah. No, it was
Yep.
great. And it was before Gila Ridge was built. So there was a lot more
Yes.
students there
Mhm.
than there is now.
I think you were the last class before Gila Ridge.
I think, I was the last class before Gila Ridge
Mm.
opened up.
Opened.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
So when you're young, you're going through life. What was it that you wanted to be? What were some aspirations? Did you always want to work for the United Way, or did you even know what that is? Or
Yeah, no, not at all. I originally wanted to do hotel and restaurant management. So I had explored that for a little bit. But then as I got into it, I'm like, I don't think this is what I want to do.
so okay, why?
I think I like the hospitality side of things.
You like being nice to people?
Yeah, I think
Okay,
She's a
okay.
great hostess.
Well, no.
All
I'm just trying to like.
Yeah.
I like being nice to people, but I never look at a hotel and be like, yeah, I want to do that. I
Yeah.
worked at a hotel. I was a bellman for about a year,
Yeah.
so I just kind of bring you your towels and an extra pillow and stuff at
You know,
Radisson.
I feel like around that time, ASU was really selling their tourism program.
they were.
Because I know a lot of people who went into tourism at that time.
Oh,
around that
so
time.
is
Yeah.
it,
It
could
was
that
like
be
an
part of the
ASU.
influence?
Yeah, it was definitely. So I went to school for tourism development
Oh,
and management.
okay.
Yeah. So I didn't necessarily, I think I wanted to get away from the hotels. I worked front desk at a local hotel here.
Oh, you
and-
did?
Yeah. And I was like, you know what? I don't think
What
I like
hotel
this
did you
as
want to get
much
away
as I
from?
did.
Where'd you work at?
I think it was called the Wyndham.
The Wyndham? Oh, okay.
I don't
Yeah,
know.
yeah,
It's
yeah.
been a long time. Yeah,
Yeah.
But and it was great. It was fine. But with the hotel life, they're open 24/7. So you don't realize, man, you are working Saturdays, you're working Sundays, you're working when people aren't working. So I think I wanted to get away from that, but I still liked the tourism side of things.
Okay. What about the tourism side of things that attracted you?
Yeah, I just liked learning different people's patterns. Why do people travel? How do they travel? Still hosting people and the hospitality side. So I still stuck with the tourism thing.
Okay. So, and then you went to a university?
Yeah, I went to ASU.
You went to
Go
ASU?
Devils.
Yeah.
I could never get which one's the Devils or which one's. Yeah, I have no idea. Like I
It
remember
doesn't
for
matter.
a
The other
minute.
school doesn't matter.
The
other one doesn't matter? Okay, cool.
It's
Yeah.
about ASU.
I'm going to get hate mail now
Yeah.
on here.
Every
No.
November, we're messaging each other during
are.
the Territorial Cup.
We are.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So, and you went there for the tourism
I
side
did.
of things?
I
Okay.
did. Yep. And then we moved back because my husband had a contract with physical therapy. So he was working at a physical therapy place down here. So we moved back, and United Way actually wasn't on the list or somewhere that I thought I would work. But Judy Gresser, who used to head up ACF,
Yes.
she happened to be at my house one day because my mom was part of the original Heart of Yuma committee.
Oh,
So
okay.
that
Goes
Heart of
way
Yuma,
back,
yeah,
yes.
way back, that Heart of Yuma committee. And she knew me from when I was growing up and thought like, oh man, I think you'd be a really good fit for the resource development job that they had open. And I happened to apply, and I've been there ever since.
Oh, okay. So let's take it back a little bit. So then you mentioned your husband.
Mhm.
So when did you meet Tyrone?
2009.
2009.
Yeah.
Okay. So then I heard you say you graduated in 2008. So that was after
Right.
school.
Yeah.
Okay. Where'd you guys meet?
Okay. You want to know something really funny?
Yeah.
We met. People watching this may not even know.
I like that you kind of got whispered like that.
MySpace.
You MySpace.
You met on MySpace?
Wow,
MySpace, like
okay.
the original
What is
DM
MySpace?
side. Yeah. But we were going to the same church. So like we knew of each other, but I would say we really actually started talking on MySpace, which was really funny.
Okay. So
Yeah.
MySpace. Yeah. I loved MySpace.
You were one of the original online dating
Yeah, we were.
couples.
Very cool. So
Love that.
what church was it? His church?
Church for the City.
Church for the City.
Mhm.
But that it was called something else,
Calvary
right?
Temple of Christ.
Calvary Temple. Okay. So that you guys kind of saw each other over there and then didn't have the courage to talk to each other. So you went back to whatever your computers and like,
yeah.
it's like, look at my top 8. Look
What
at
song did you
Right.
put on? So,
Oh my
to
gosh,
grab his
I don't
attention,
remember. It was
Karina.
probably like an emo stage or, like.
Did you have an emo stage?
I wouldn't say I had an emo stage. I didn't look emo, but definitely
didn't
that
look emo?
genre.
Oh, okay.
of
I just went to
music,
the emo karaoke. I
I
was telling
saw
Johnny,
that.
oh my God, it was so much
And
fun.
Veronica didn't tell me because I was going to go. I was going to go with my sister. And my sister's like, I can't go. So I was like, I'm not going to go. And then Veronica comes in the next day. I went. I was like, you should have texted me. I would have went with you.
I'm like, Johnny, you know everyone. You don't need somebody.
No.
That's
I'm
true.
so the emo thing, which I love. I'm older okay, I'm on the other side of it, but I've been putting on shows for so long. So I would put on all their shows, and I kind of fell in love with the music because it was so good. And seeing them come up. And so I have a soft spot for some emo music, but so maybe some emo song on your MySpace thing. And then Tyrone's like, hey, who hit who first? We want the cheese made.
I don't remember.
You don't remember?
I think he did because remember you used to be able to do surveys on there.
Oh
yeah, do surveys, and I'm pretty sure he responded to a survey.
Oh, okay.
Oh my God, are you single?
He might tell a different story, but I do remember it was something like that. So
we'll get him on another time and let him clear it up if he has a different story to tell.
Yeah, so we had met through there, and we were actually, I had already had plans to go to ASU. So as we started just talking, we were friends first and then started dating. We both actually had plans to break up with one another because we were both moving. I didn't know that he had plans to go to a school in Mesa, Pima Medical. And we had plans to break up with each other. But then when we found out we were both moving to the Phoenix area, we stayed together.
Oh, wow. That's pretty cool. Yeah. And so what did he do? You said, mentioned something about
therapist assistant. Yep.
Okay. That's what he was doing at the time. Is that what he still does?
No. So he was at Southwest Rehab for a really long time, and then he is full-time at the church.
Okay, so he's full-time.
So he was healing physically, now he's healing spiritually.
Yeah.
Oh, there you go, Veronica. Like that little connection there. So you guys you both go over there. You don't have the breakup talk, which is cool. You're in Phoenix, so you guys are meeting up a lot over there?
Yeah, I mean, we were still dating, had a lot of friends, moved up there as well. So did life up there. And then eventually we both finished school and decided to move back down.
So what was your degree in?
It was in tourism development.
Okay, so they have degrees in that. Yeah. Okay, I didn't know. Yeah. So you're there. What are you thinking you're going to get a job into? What was like? What's a tourism job? I don't know. I'm generally asking. Besides Visit Yuma, is that okay? Something like that.
That's
like what Marcus does or something.
Yeah. So I was thinking something in Visit Yuma or in that world or that realm, or maybe GYEDC, something like that. And then when I went to United Way, honestly, I thought that was just going to be a temporary thing. Like we moved down, he had a job already, but I needed a job. So, and there was some things that did overlap with it. So I applied for it, and then I realized that I really enjoyed it and then never left.
So you applied and you got the interview. You kind of nailed the interview.
I guess. I mean, they hired me.
They hired you. Like you did something right.
She came well recommended. Right. So yeah.
You did. And so explain to everybody what the United Way does. What is it, and what your position was there?
Yeah. So initially I began as a resource development person, which is just a fancy word for a fundraiser. But what United Way really does is they give tools locally to people so that they can break the cycle of poverty. So tools look really differently. There could be eyeglasses. It could be a backpack. It could be basic needs. It could be financial education, but it's all around that, like tools that eventually a person could use to break the cycle.
So how do you, like you said, the tools are kind of all over the place. So how do you decide that? Just based upon need?
Yeah.
You kind of look at a specific need, and then what is it? Because I'm a little familiar with Veronica does or did over there at the foundation. Is it something similar like that? You kind of see a need and you kind of meet that with like some donor money or something?
Yes.
Or
yeah, so it's definitely morphed over the years. So we had really begun as just a fundraising organization where we fundraise on behalf of other agencies. So when I first started, that was a really big thing.
That's what it was. You fundraise on the behalf of other agencies.
Yep.
Yeah, they were actually one of the biggest grant makers in Yuma County at the time.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah. So agencies would apply for grants through our grant cycle, and then we would see if they were aligning with what our mission was, and then we would fund programs. Now, a big thing, and technology has really changed. We were one of the only ones who could do payroll deduction at the time, so that was a huge campaign of United
like wear
Way.
your jeans on Friday.
Yeah.
And
or
if you pay $1, you can wear jeans on Friday.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Yeah, or give $1 per paycheck or $2 per paycheck. So now that technology has shifted, people can do that, on their own. But before, it was really difficult for businesses to be able to run a campaign like that.
Okay.
So United Way would step
facilitate
in.
That.
Exactly.
Then they could have fun at their establishment doing that, like you're mentioning. And so you were like, okay, we could do that. So did you have like outreach? Like, hey guys, we could provide this.
Yeah. So there was definitely a lot of outreach. I would go into businesses, do a lot of presentations and say, this is a benefit of partnering with United Way, because you're not just partnering with United Way, but you're actually partnering with 20 other local agencies, because when you give to us, we turn around and fund all of these different agencies. Now, as technology grew and businesses started to create their own foundations, we kind of moved away from that because it just wasn't as popular anymore, and started realizing we have to have our own impact in-house and start doing programs in-house to truly have an impact.
What year is this where you start to see this shift? Do you remember?
It was probably 2015, maybe.
Probably when you became the director.
Yeah.
So we're going to take a quick break. Let's pick back up when you became the director and some of the roles and what you had to do. Just recognizing the landscape and say like, hey, what's going on? We're shifting. So how do we do this? And some of the ideas you came up with.
For sure.
All right. We're going to do that on the other side of a break. You're listening to What's Up Yuma Radio right here on 94.7 KOFA Border Radio.
The KAWC Student Newsroom is funded by the Local News Initiative at the Community Foundation for Southern Arizona, the Scripps Howard Fund, and by generous local support. Thank you for supporting the next generation of public media. Learn more about the project and hear stories from emerging journalists at kawc.org/student newsroom.
Good morning. I'm Cecilia Holland-Braithwaite from the KAWC Newsroom. We expect a sunny day in Yuma with an afternoon high of 81 degrees. Winds are out of the north-northeast at 5 to 10 miles per hour, but could gust up to 20. Mostly clear skies tonight with a low around 50 degrees. Presidents James Monroe and Theodore Roosevelt helped shape a policy that rationalizes U.S. intervention in Latin America and elsewhere. But Trump has brought that idea to a whole new level. You can find out more at kawc.org/NPR-news.
Hey, this is Jay with Mixtape, the radio show all about sharing music from the days of cassette tapes and before the time of online. This week's episode, it's all about love, bringing you some of the greatest love songs, from Patti Smith to The Cure to the B-52s. Join me Thursday night at 7 p.m. on KOFA Border Radio at 94.7 FM or on the KOFA app.
What's up, Yuma? Welcome back to What's Up Yuma Radio. We are here speaking with Karina Jones, and we got to the point where she's at the United Way. She started off kind of entry level, doing some fundraising, but about what year was it when you took the leadership role? And like Veronica said, did it kind of tie in when things started to shift?
Yeah, it was around 2017 when I took the role.
Okay.
And we really just started to look at the organization as a whole and say, okay, if we want to actually track progress and track impact, we realize that we have to have some programs in-house versus just raising on behalf of other agencies.
Mm-hmm. And you know, this was very innovative of her because at that time is when funders were requiring more reporting, more stories, more impact stories.
Gotcha.
The whole landscape of philanthropy was changing anyways.
Mm-hmm. So, and then you know that because you were in the same industry at that time?
In philanthropy, yes.
Yeah, with the Arizona.
Foundation.
Okay, gotcha. So everything's shifting, different organizations. So how did you guys come up with different, like, what are we going to do in-house?
Yeah, well, we started to look at the landscape and say, what are some of the needs in the community that aren't being met? And what are some of the gaps and how can we step in? Shortly after that, the Drive for School Supplies used to live at Yuma Regional Medical Center on Vita. They used to have that program. As they did some alignments and shifts, they realized that no longer falls under what they wanted to focus on. So we had a conversation with them, and it was a huge program in the community and still is. So we ended up taking that program and running it and fulfilling that need. And then we looked at things like vision screening. There's no local organization that does vision screening right now. I mean, the nurses do it. There's a 50-50 chance whether or not you're going to get screened when you go to school. Right. But we started to see like, okay, there's a gap in vision screening, and well, vision is really important. We think that kids should be able to see and identify whether or not there's a potential vision problem there. So we partnered with an organization and started vision screening. So that's kind of the trend of how we started to do things, of just looking at where are some gaps in services that we can fill.
So when I think the United Way, and probably just because just what I've seen on social media, is taxes. Like, was that always a thing, or is that one of the new ones?
Yeah, so that had been a thing for a really long time.
Yes.
We used
Okay.
to do free tax prep for
Okay.
people. Yeah, we used to do that for a very long
I
time.
And so
didn't know
not-
that.
Yeah.
And so not anymore then, it sounds like they
we
don't do it
didn't
anymore.
do it anymore. It was a very time-consuming program that we just didn't see our return on the time and the investment that we were making and the cost of that program. We didn't see that return. So we did do away with that program. But United Way worldwide, we're local. United Way is 100% local, 100% local board staff and everything. But worldwide offered a free tax service, which they still do. It's called My Free Taxes. So we just decided to push people to that. Like, hey, you can still do your taxes for free. You just have to do them
Gotcha.
online.
You just have to do it that way.
Yeah.
Okay. So then you said about 2017, you're in the leadership role. Did you like it?
Yeah, I loved it. It was, I feel like I still talk about it as if it's present, but it was, one of my favorite things to do, which is why I was able to stay there for so long.
So what were some of the things you did now as running the organization?
Yeah, I think as a leader, one of the primary things is I'm casting vision, right? I'm setting the pace of the organization. I'm trying to think of ideas, and it's not just me. I use the word I, but
It's
working
your
closely
team.
with
Yeah.
the team, working closely with the board, being able to connect the dots and connect people from maybe two different segments of the community to be able to come together and make an impact. So being able to do all of those things is really fulfilling to me. And in the process of doing those things, serving the community and actually making a difference for the next generation.
Gotcha.
And she really was a great leader, visionary leader from the very beginning, because just to connect the shift in landscaping from the fundraising, the paycheck to paycheck, to switching to programming, from fundraising to focused on programming, that's huge. And the vision screenings, if you ever volunteer to go do the vision screenings, your mind will be blown to see how many kids actually need glasses.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, 1 in 4 is the nationwide
1 in
statistic,
4.
which is true also here locally in some of the lower, or I would say higher poverty schools. It's almost like 1 to 3 is the fail rate or the referral rate.
And you said like these things, doing this, you're getting this position, they fulfill you. You're getting a sense of fulfillment from it.
Yeah. Well, I believe, in serving others, it's not even just for me from my faith side, like a biblical, to be able to serve others, but also you see all these like Harvard studies and all these different things of when you serve others and you just take that spotlight off of yourself and you can look to others, it makes a huge difference in your health and your longevity. And for me, I've had people in my life who have poured into me. And I remember growing up and being the beneficiary of different community programs. And I just feel really strongly like it's part of just my responsibility as a community member to turn around and be able to do that for somebody else, and especially the next generation that's coming up.
Absolutely. And then you kind of mentioned like the faith side of it, but it also, like you mentioned, it doesn't even matter the faith side of it, just serving does something.
Yeah.
Like in our bodies are, I guess, get into the physical part of biology, but it releases feel-good chemicals when you do it.
It does.
There's literally like your brain doesn't know, and I've kind of studied this a little bit, doesn't know if it's coming or going. So when you're serving somebody, you get the same reward biologically, and you feel that, oh, I just did that,
Right,
And so if people would do that more, they'd feel better more, right?
Yeah, 100%
So
true.
You're getting all that, you have that, but then you leave.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is the point of the time. So you leave, but you're not done serving people,
right?
So was that a difficult decision? And I heard you off air talking to Veronica. It was kind of like it might have been time or something. But what was that like?
Yeah, it was definitely a difficult decision, but we actually started it behind the scenes talking about that shift 3 years ago with my board.
Oh, wow.
So the board, a lot of them were terming off. They had started at the same time that I started. And as we just started to look at it and we started to get closer to some markers and some goals we had, I said, you know what, when you guys term off and we meet these specific goals, I think I want to term off with you guys. And of course, I prayed about it, talked to my husband, talked to some trusted people about it. And we felt like, okay, this is the right time. And also my vision went that far. Like afterwards, I think I had enough self-awareness to be like, I don't have vision beyond these goals. And now that we've met these goals, we've started our local financial education program, we're in a new building, we're financially stable, all of those things. And then also combined with the board terming off, like, I think it's time. We're in a really healthy place. And I was excited to be able to pass it off to somebody and see them do even greater and better things than we were able to do.
So you brought up being self-aware. So and that's huge to say that, okay, and having those goals and you've kind of checked them off to know like, okay, I need to step away for the best of myself and the organization.
Right.
So there's fresh leadership.
Yes.
Was it difficult finding somebody to have that fresh leadership?
I mean, thankfully, I believe from my faith side, the Lord brought some people to the table. It was definitely a difficult decision when we were interviewing, but we selected, in my opinion and the board's opinion, the right person,
Cool,
perfect
yeah.
person for the job.
And who is it?
Her name is Mallory Edgar. She's 100% local. She loves this community. She has a passion to help people and a passion just for the community itself. So to me, she's the perfect person to lead the ship.
So and then that also feels good to be able to leave that in somebody's hands who's capable and also loves the community.
Absolutely.
So we're going to get to what are you up to now within you're at Church for the City, the church that you went to as a youngster and met your husband through MySpace.
Yeah.
He was there and then it married and what's his role and what's your role to be?
Yeah, so we were both over the youth for a really long time. So heavily involved on the youth side and young adults and did that for about 10 years. He's now more stepping into more of like the executive side of things, but I'll be stepping into what we call We Love Our City, which is our community impact department, our community impact ministry side of things.
Okay, so explain for the layman out there what that means.
Almost like your nonprofit.
Yeah,
church, right?
Exactly. I love it because it's a seamless transition for me. I get to do a lot of the same things that I was doing at United Way, just under the banner of the church. So for the church, we want everybody to experience the reality and the presence of Jesus. One of the ways that we believe that people can do that is just by practical acts of kindness and serving other people. So We Love Our City really oversees those things. And it's the community impact side, like funding different galas that come up, doing different service projects. So sending volunteer teams out to the different nonprofits that have a need and being able to fulfill it.
Yeah, and so I obviously interviewed your father-in-law, the pastor of the church, and one thing that I was really impressed by is that he doesn't just say he loves the city; he really does. And I know this because my brother-in-law is a pastor, and he goes to one of his meetings where Tyrone will help other pastors, and it's not like territorial, like everybody needs to come to my church. It's like, he helps the pastors actually grow their churches too, which I was like, whoa, that's different.
Yeah. Our heart is to see the kingdom grow, right? Not just our church. And even through We Love Our City, we're not just helping people who attend our church. We're just helping any community member. Like last summer, we did this big service project called Serve Day, where we went out and we adopted a few different laundromats and we paid for people's laundry. We went to one of the elderly homes and just spent time with some of them. We went to grocery stores and
you guys paid gas.
Groceries. Yeah, we did gas.
Yeah, I remember
gas
that.
Cards. So whether
were you in line, Veronica, or what? I remember.
I was too late.
Like she's beeping at the other people, like, hurry up, get out. Like they're going to run out of money.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. So it's great. We're helping people and being able to expand the church outside of the four walls because it's not just about us.
Yeah. And so those certain programs that you mentioned, now they're going to come under you. So you're going to run them, do everything. Because I also saw through United Way, you became like on social media, you had to do reels and stuff. So you're going to be doing all of that. You're going to bring all of that to you where you're at now?
We'll see. I got to meet with the social media department.
You got to keep it up,
side,
Karina. That's my favorite thing of United Way.
Yeah, we had a lot of fun.
Me and Veronica decided you have to do it.
Okay.
You got to do it.
Said so
exactly. But now you're going to oversee it. You're excited to do that. And do you have any goals for this program and maybe some other things you would like to implement?
Yeah, I'm excited to be able to go for so long United Way. I mean, we fundraise funds. So I'm excited to be able to go from a fundraiser to now a funder because the church supports different projects and programs in the community.
Yes.
So that's really exciting to me.
It's less stressful, by the way.
It is very much less stressful, but also just to be able to do a service project every month. That's a big goal of ours, to be able to look for different needs out there. I mean, and we have the people. So to be able to deploy people and say, hey, we're not just about Church for the City, but we're really about our community.
Yeah. And I remember I went there. My cousin started going there. And so I was going there with him for a little bit. And one of the things when the furlough happened, Tyrone got on there. It's like, okay, we're going to help families. We're going to do this inside, outside the church. It doesn't matter, but people affected by it that need it. I'm going to make an executive decision and we're going to do that.
Right.
So it's stuff like that.
Yeah.
When once the need pops up, you're going to be aware of it. Okay, there's a specific need. Now let's come over and see what we can do and where we could fit in.
Yes, exactly.
Well, and I think one of the great things about the church is you have people from all over the city.
Right.
So you have feelers everywhere to learn about what the community
lots of
needs.
different age groups, lots of different backgrounds, lots of people from different parts of the city. So it's exciting to be able to build a team and really be able to tackle this.
So we talked off air. You haven't even officially started yet. So February is when you start?
Yeah, the first week of February is when I'll officially come on board. There's some stuff that we're still doing, like on, I guess, a volunteer basis. But yeah, first week of February.
And you got your office at the church and everything?
I think I'm just going to have a desk,
Okay, all right. Yeah, that's cool.
I'm all good with that. I mean, really.
Ask for a window.
Yeah, I mean, the whole point of the job is not to be in an office, but to really be out in the community. So I'm like, you can work from anywhere.
Gotcha. Yeah, definitely. So you're going to do that first week of February. You're starting this new thing. How big is the church now? Because I think you guys have like 3 services.
Yeah, we have 3 services. It's full. It's growing. So it's definitely an exciting time to be a part of it.
Because
right
it's a pretty big place.
Yeah.
And then so like times 3, it was like, oh my goodness.
Yeah, it's pretty large.
Yeah. So you're excited and to see the church grow and be a part of this organization that actually loves the city and not just says that. They actually put their money where their mouth is.
Right. Exactly. You said it perfectly.
Oh, cool. Great. I like you. You could come back too.
Yes.
Yeah, every time. But thank you so much for being with us. I really appreciate it. Anything else you want to get out? Like let people know where they can find you on social media, because you're going to make your debut here and your thing. Where can they find the Church for the City on social media?
Yeah, on Instagram at CTC Family.
CTC Family. So thank you so much. I appreciate you. And
thank you.
We are going to take a break and we'll be back with our very own Victor Calderón. And we're going to talk about news and what he does over there in that other office over there all day. So we're going to do that after a quick break. You're listening to What's Up Yuma Radio right here on 94.7 KOFA Border Radio.
KAWC and Border Radio are supported by the Yuma Sun, delivering local news as well as weekly features such as Ronnie's Remedy Advice Column, Desert Gardener, and a Get Involved community feature. Businesses and organizations interested in connecting with the Yuma Sun's print and digital audiences can learn all about opportunities under advertising at yumasun.com.
I'm Maria Hinojosa. This week on Latino USA, we bring you a story that takes you across the ocean and into a journalist's personal memories.
The story of the Mariel boat lift is the central story of my life. There was a before and an after. I was never the same after that.
That's this week on Latino USA.
Sunday mornings at 10 a.m. on KOFA Border Radio 94.7 FM.
The Yuma County Library District provides activities and resources at its branches for people of all ages. Events include story time, citizenship classes, bilingual programs, crafts, author talks, and more. For more information about the activities and calendar of events, plus other in-person and online resources, visit yumalibrary.org.
For KAWC News, I'm Cisco Stargazer. If you're needing scholarships for college, now's the time to apply. Various scholarship applications have opened for the 2026 to 2027 school year. Education Forward Arizona, for instance, has announced scholarships oriented towards supporting Arizona's future workforce. These include the Education Forward Arizona Scholarship, the Adelante Scholarship, and the Native American Scholarship Program. Deadlines vary, but they're generally in March and April. The 3rd annual Stand for Children Arizona Renaissance Scholarship is also open now through February 1st. This scholarship is worth $20,000 over 4 years. And there's still time to apply to the Sunrise Optimists of Yuma Scholarship Contest. Youth under the age of 19 can submit an original 700 to 800 word essay on the topic, How My Acts of Service Help Me Understand What My Community Means to Me. Send them to Club President Denise Davis by end of day today. More info on these scholarships can be found on our site, kawc.org. For KAWC News, I'm Cisco Stargazer.
Bad Bunny, Pink Pantherist, Tame Impala, 17, Carlos Vives. Those are just some of the artists who played an NPR Tiny Desk concert last year. Could you be next? Enter the Tiny Desk contest by February 9th. The winner will play their own Tiny Desk show and headline a national tour. Learn more and see the official rules at npr.org/Tiny Desk Contest.
KAWC and Border Radio are sponsors of the Village Jazz Series, with concerts at 6 every Thursday evening at Yuma Palms Regional Center starting January 15th. The series opener will feature vocalist Renee Grant Patrick and pianist Nicole Pesci. Guests should bring their own seating. Details under Village Jazz at yumajazz.com.
What's up, Yuma? Welcome back to What's Up, Yuma Radio. We are here now joined by our very own Victor Calderón. Thank you for being with us, Victor.
Thank you for having me again.
And did you hear the Billboard part of the show where she talked about you earlier, Veronica?
I did not know because I was doing an interview for our news side.
Oh, shame on you for doing your job.
I know, right?
Yeah, it should never happen again. No, she just mentioned how big of a sports fan you are.
I am. Yuma sports guy.
Can you tell?
Yeah, exactly. You got your San Francisco.
Faithful to the Bay.
Yeah, absolutely. How many sports or teams do you like? Like, you got San Francisco, and I think the Kings, right?
Right. So I'm from Sacramento, as listeners may know.
We actually been at a Suns game together.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
When they played the Kings.
When they played the Kings, yes. And I think the Suns won that game as well.
We did.
Thank God.
But yeah, so I'm from Sacramento. So my teams are the Sacramento Kings, Golden State Warriors, 49ers from San Francisco, San Francisco Giants. Those are my main teams.
The main teams.
But I'm generally a fan of sports.
Yeah, because I see you here come in with different ones. Like, was it Oregon?
Yeah, it was Oregon.
I was rooting for Oregon.
So you were rooting for them so that you bore it to the...
But then they lost. So
they lost?
Yes.
Honestly,
I didn't go there. I'm just a fan.
I'm so impressed of how many sports I know because of you.
Oh, really? Is that how you...
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, and so like just sports in general, then you pick a team and you kind of go for them.
Yeah, so like I said, I'm always gonna root for my home teams first. If they're not playing a team from Arizona, I'll root for the teams from Arizona, the Diamondbacks, the Suns, the Cardinals, even.
Yeah,
unless they're playing at one of my local teams.
Yeah, the game you went with Veronica with the Suns.
I was repping the Kings that night.
The Kings, I think they just beat the Lakers and the Rockets recently.
Did. They're on a little bit of a streak, so we'll see.
Yeah,
but it has been a long season for them, and we'll see when I can get out to another game.
Somebody got suspended, right?
I think there was a fight, something like that. I think one of the lesser known players got into like a fight.
Yeah, got in a fight.
There's been a lot of fights this season.
It is. They're definitely. And then on the Suns, the Dylan Brooks. So
the Suns are doing great. Devin Booker and supporting cast.
Yeah, they're doing great. So that's cool. I love basketball. That's my favorite is basketball. Like I'm a.
We all need to go to a game together.
Yes, do it. I want to. Like I'm a basketball junkie. Like I stay up on because you're on Twitter or X then now it is, and they're doing stuff. I'm on there looking at all the basketball stuff all night. Like I should be asleep by now. All the highlights. Yeah,
it is a highlight game now, right?
Yeah, absolutely. So let's do what we do. We had you on the show before, but we always like to get to know our guests, and just maybe somebody had to miss that episode. Maybe their wife was in labor and they couldn't listen, like had some excuse.
That's a little specific.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah. But some tragedy or some great thing,
God.
I don't know.
Maybe
just missed the first episode.
Okay, no, I just
maybe
said,
they slept in.
No, maybe they slept in. Maybe they slept in. But you said you're originally from Sacramento.
Originally from West Sacramento, California. Lived there, grew up there, born there. And then I went to college in Washington, D.C. at Georgetown.
Wow.
And
so let's go back to Sacramento real quick. So obviously you're a reporter here. You do the news.
Right.
Was that a part of your culture when you were in Sacramento?
Yeah. So I started in middle school at Holy Cross School in West Sacramento. And I wrote for the school newspaper. It was
in middle school.
In middle school.
Wow, that is young.
Something called I remember it's called the Viking Voice.
The Viking Voice. Oh,
we were the Holy Cross Vikings.
Okay.
And so I wrote for that, and I just wrote about things in middle school, what was going on, like new teachers, things like that. And so ever since then, because I was always good at writing, creative writing, but then I got into that, and so that sort of I love to like interview people and like tell their stories. And so at a young age, that's like when I continue that through high school at Jesuit High School in Carmichael.
So at the high school, did you write for the high school? Did they have a paper?
A high school newspaper. It was a little more, we printed a print edition versus just like on 8.5 by 11, like the middle school. But we had a monthly newspaper, and I worked on that staff. And then I continued that in college at Georgetown, worked for the Georgetown Hoya, covered sports, covered a little bit of politics.
So why
like,
Georgetown?
Okay, so as I mentioned last time, like I thought I wanted to do something in government, and so Washington D.C. was where it was at.
Gotcha.
And when I went, it was
it's a completely different coast.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's a jump.
And I'm usually, I'm a West Coast guy, but so I thought I wanted to do something in politics, like an internship on Capitol Hill or work with a congressman or congresswoman, something like that, because I was really into U.S. history. But what first got me into Georgetown was not the academic part, or not even like the Catholic part, because I'm also Catholic, but it was actually sports.
Okay.
Like Allen Iverson, Georgetown basketball in the 80s and 90s was good.
Did you love Allen Iverson?
I loved Allen Iverson.
He's great.
So,
he's one of the best. Unfortunately, he never got a ring or anything.
No.
But yeah, he was awesome on the floor.
And then Patrick Ewing won Georgetown their only national championship in 1984. I was only 2 then. But I just, like Georgetown basketball. And
there was a legacy there that you could vibe with.
Yeah, and then I got to find out more about the school and the academic reputation and the Catholic side. So those were all important to me. And being in Washington D.C., so I applied. Didn't think I would get in. I got in. It was kind of a reach school for me. I really wanted to go to UC Berkeley.
Why didn't you think though? Why didn't you think you would get in?
I don't know. I wasn't tops in my class. I wasn't like the school valedictorian. I was a good student, A's and B's. I was taking, advanced placement courses, AP courses, but it's a top 25 ranked school. So I didn't think.
So you just had a little bit of self-doubt.
A little bit. A little bit of like, I'll see if I get in. And but then it came down between that and University of San Diego. If anyone listening is that went to University of San Diego, it's a beautiful campus.
Yes.
The Catholic University down there. But it was just, I had to take that opportunity. I had to go to Washington, D.C., see if I would like it. And I did.
So yeah, and as you'd mentioned, and we talked a little bit last time, you love history, you like the government side of things. You wanted to go over there. So what, I guess, persuaded you from getting it more into the government, or was it more of the news and the reporting side of things?
I just love the news side because, I was there at an interesting time in Washington, D.C.
What time?
Between 2000 and 2004.
What's going on?
So it was right after the 2000 election, Bush versus Kerry. So all of that going on. I was there for September 11th, and you could see smoke from the Pentagon, like from the campus. So it was just an interesting time to be there in Washington, D.C. And so, that and covering that, for my campus newspaper, just kind of like, I love the reporting side of it.
So
more so than the politics.
Did you get into any of the politics? Did you kind of like pull on that thread at all?
As I mentioned before, I did, cover a political campaign when I was there. You had to cover both sides. So it was John Kerry versus George W. Bush. You interview the campaigns, not the candidates themselves. You go to campaign rallies, things like that. So I got to see that. So you were there. I was there for all of that.
Oh, very
so I got
cool.
to see that and other, events related to that.
So what in politics, if you didn't report on it, what in politics would you have wanted to do?
Probably like, start working, on Congress. A lot of people at Georgetown, they got like internships,
An internship work for a congressman or something?
Yeah, or like, every national organization is there. Like every, nonprofit you can think of has a national like DC office, or they did
their
maybe
advocacy
before.
Office.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, exactly. Because you want to go to Washington and you want to, talk to your Congress people and you want to meet with them.
Is this like lobby stuff?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Okay. And like nonprofits too. So, again, most, organization you can think of has at least some office.
So there's so much maybe to choose from.
Right.
You just know that you kind of like this. You kind of lean towards some of the political things. When I get there, I'll find a place.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
Anything particular that you felt passionate about?
Yeah. And then just being on campus too, like I got more involved with like the campus community. I got involved with, there was a dance group called Ballet Folklorico. And so if you know that, it's a Mexican folk dance.
Oh, okay.
And they always, most organizations always, Ballet Folklorico need males to dance. They always have enough.
Did you
females.
dance?
Don't tell me
I
you
danced.
danced.
Yeah.
You
Oh my
danced?
God,
I danced.
that's
Veronica, Talon, find the footage of him dancing. You got to
We need
figure
it
that
right now.
Yeah, you need to get on that.
It might be on a VHS tape somewhere.
Yeah.
It's been a while.
Yeah. So you joined the dance group.
I joined the dance group and got involved with student groups. There was a Latino student group called Mecha that people in the West might know. I believe they have them at the Arizona colleges. But yeah, so I just got involved with the campus and, I was homesick like the first semester. As I said, I had to, get a whole new wardrobe for being in Washington, D.C., being a California kid.
It's cold over there.
And I just love the vibe. I just love being in D.C. I didn't love being away from family and friends, but I made friends, and I came to love my time in Washington D.C. and I went back for my 10-year reunion.
Oh, cool.
And so anytime I can get a chance to go back to DC, I'll try to get back.
So
there.
when you're in that area, did you meet anybody that like kind of really stood out to you? Somebody you were excited about meeting, or maybe even on the other side, somebody that like, God, I didn't like that guy at all.
So I got to go to the National Press Club, and a lot of events they have there. They have speakers. So I got to meet and also National Association, not NHJ, but other national Hispanic organizations had fundraisers and events and like galas. So I went to one and volunteered, and I got to meet John McCain, Senator John McCain from Arizona.
Yeah, from Arizona.
And now, I also interviewed him when I was with the Diocese of Tucson.
Mm-hmm.
And Kurt Warner.
Cool.
Kurt Warner, from the Arizona Cardinals.
Yeah, Cardinals. Yeah, I love Kurt Warner.
So he went right after he won Super Bowl with the St. Louis Rams.
Yeah.
And of course, I love sports. So I got to go to that one event. And so I had connections.
When they go to the White House,
was it? Yeah,
they were probably going to the White House too, like that same day. But they went to National Press Club and did like a speech.
Got it.
Yeah.
And like just opportunities like that with other politicians and speakers on campus. President Bill Clinton.
You met him? Or no?
He went to Georgetown. He gave a speech. Other elected officials, Alonzo Mourning, the basketball player.
Yeah.
A lot of these people that are connected to Georgetown come back.
They come back.
They speak.
Gotcha. Yeah.
And so as a student, that's a big thing. Like, oh, there's a senator or a president or, someone who's,
And it kind of doesn't matter like what side of the aisle they're on. They come back.
They're graduates. They're alumni.
They're alumni, and people go over there, and it's like, wow, this came out of here. This was a product of where I'm at.
When are they going to have you back?
We'll see.
Yeah, we need to start
a
magazine. Yeah, we got to get that campaign going. Get you over there. So we're going to take a quick break, and then we're going to come back, and we're going to start with how you ended up over here and what you do in that office all day.
All right.
We're going to do that after a quick break. You're listening to What's Up Yuma Radio right here on 94.7 KOFA Border Radio.
Registration is open for the Yuma Territorial Marathon, Half Marathon, and 10K race on Saturday, January 31st. Hosted by the Caballeros de Yuma, this out and back course with minimal elevation change is a qualifier for the Boston Marathon. Runners of all levels are welcome. Information at yumamarathon.com.
Listen here real soon for an hour, remembering Grateful Dead co-founder Bob Weir. 7 top performances and comments from Grateful Dead historian David Gans.
He was really looking to do something unique every time, and he had a very interesting sense of harmony and rhythm, different from everybody else.
Singing ashes, ashes, all fall down. Ashes, ashes, all fall down.
Bob Weir, remembered, right here real soon.
Midday Sunday from 11 to 1 on KOFA 94.7 FM.
A sunshiny day in Yuma County with an afternoon high of about 80 degrees. Winds out of the northeast at 5 to 10 miles per hour, could gust up to 20. Mostly clear tonight with a low around 42. In Kingman, it's sunny with a high near 69 degrees. Winds out of the northeast at 7 to 10 miles per hour, clear tonight with a low of 42. In Prescott, it's sunny with a high of 65 degrees. Clear and calm tonight with a low of 34. In Flagstaff, sunny with a high near 58 degrees. Clear skies tonight with a low of 24.
What's up, Yuma? Welcome back to What's Up Yuma Radio. We are here speaking with our very own Victor Calderón. And so how'd you end up in Yuma after Georgetown?
Yeah, so I continued my journalism career. I went to Monterey County. So I was in Monterey, Salinas, worked for newspapers there, then Reno, Nevada. And then I went back to my home area of West Sacramento, Carmichael, Sacramento area. And I worked for a website called Patch that was owned by AOL.com. And then we did hyper-local news websites. And so I got to cover the community of Carmichael, where I went to high school. And it was there when I was in that community that I met my now wife, Araceli Rodriguez.
Love
you know her?
Yes.
She's from Somerton.
Attorney. Yeah.
She's from Somerton. She's an attorney. Sorry to speak over you. So she wanted to go back to law school. She went to law school at the University of Arizona in Tucson. And then after she was there, she wanted to come back home. She's from, again, Somerton, as I mentioned. So, we weren't married then, but she convinced me to come to Yuma, and that's how I got here.
She's the only Somerton person that did not go to ASU, by the way.
No. She went to Stanford. She's a nerd.
So she went to Stanford?
She went to Stanford.
And U of A.
But we met in Sacramento because she went with her sister.
And U of A, you said?
You said she went to U of A.
U of A for law school.
Yes, so she went to the U of A.
So she went to okay. So that's what you're saying.
That's the bad school.
So who's the
they
one
won last night?
Oh, I know.
Basketball.
So I'm thinking, is it who puts on the Tamale Festival? Is it
the Sun Devils?
It's the ASU alumni, Jerry and Gladys Anaya. Shout out to them. It's a great event.
So that's where that's a big thing. So if you're in Somerton, the area, then you go to ASU.
It's ASU, but
but
some people went to U of A. I didn't go to either school.
Yeah, you did.
My wife did,
but your wife did. She went to the other one.
Actually, I'm wearing. If you can see,
now you're learning.
I knew you had something else underneath there.
Oh man,
bear down.
I knew it. I knew it.
Forks up.
Half our audience just tuned away.
No, I know nothing
House
about
divided.
either of them, but I do know the competition and the rivalry between them. Though, but so you met your wife. She wanted to come back home,
right,
and practice law here.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then she said, "Come here. You're handsome. I love you. Let's go over here and start a family."
Yes. So we got married and at Immaculate Conception Church. And
shout out to IC.
Shout out to IC. And then, So I've lived in Yuma since 2016.
Okay.
Yuma County. We were in Somerton, and then now we live in Yuma.
Gotcha. And then, so how'd you end up here at KAWC?
So I bounced around. I worked at WACOG for a little bit. I worked at, taught for 1 year, taught freshman English at San Luis High School. But none of those was really for me. And so I always wanted to get back to journalism, but obviously we have a small media community here.
Not a lot to choose from.
Right. And I had a background in print journalism, and I just didn't find like an opening at the Yuma Sun, and I didn't have a background in TV, so I couldn't apply like a KYMA. But my wife, ever since she worked with Congressman Raul Grijalva, she listened to KAWC.
Yeah.
And she knows Lou Gum. Shout out to Lou Gum, our former news director, now retired. And so she saw that they were hiring here for a reporter. So she said, apply. I applied, and the rest is history.
You're like, yes, ma'am. I'm on it.
I love it. Wife leads. Yes.
Yeah.
I know. She's like, you should apply. And I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
But it worked out, and it's a great team here, and I love what I do.
So you got here, and you said you weren't part of any radio before, right? So this is new to you.
Yes.
You know how to write good articles.
Right.
What was it like the first time you got behind the mic and or interviewed somebody in that way, where you have to set up with equipment, and that's a different world?
I probably sounded like the nerd guy on like The Simpsons, or like the one where his voice is cracking, like the teenage worker, like all nervous. But no, like Lou and Dave and Anthony here helped me like get more comfortable with like the tech side of it, right? Because it's not just interviewing. You have to know how to work the buttons.
Exactly.
Like Cecilia's over here
working
doing
buttons.
a great job.
Yep.
And Talon back there, but yeah. So just learning the tech side of it, and now I know a little more, and I don't know everything. But
because it is, and I bring it up that way and frame it that way because it is even more intimidating.
Yes,
you're learning something new. You're doing something that's out of your framework, but you're also doing the technical part. You got to do both, and what makes it like even more daunting.
Right. But at the end of the day, you're telling people stories, you're sharing their voices. I love, we talk to the elected officials, people that are running for office, but we also talk to everyday people, small business owners, as you do. We talk to people that are impacted by the news, migrants, farm workers, as we can, farm owners. So I just love, getting out and meeting new people. I still meet new people when I go out there. A lot of people know me, they know my voice, but I still meet new people, and I love doing that in my reporting role.
Yeah, so things that kind of changed over there in the newsroom, right?
Yes.
Lou Gum, you said retired at the end of last year, correct?
Right before the holidays.
Okay, so what's going on over there? Like, what's it like right now? And you kind of taking a leadership role, or what's the deal?
It's just like it's a team effort, right?
Team effort,
and it has been for a while. So it's myself, Cisco Stargazer, covers education. Alexandra Rangel and I, she's Alexandra is a civic engagement reporter. I'm more general assignment, so I cover South County, Somerton, San Luis, but I'll also go where I'm needed. As things come up with the Yuma City Council. Today, I interviewed a candidate for City Council, Henry Valenzuela.
You asked me for the contact
for the news side.
Yeah.
He's interviewed my son at the skate park, at the new skate park in Somerton.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
So that goes back to getting different voices, young voices. Her son was at the skate park, and so
Oh, very cool.
That was
Like
cool.
randomly, or was
He
that
was
set
like
up?
10.
No, so Gladys Anaya, who is a friend of ours, put on the event, and I asked her,
Gotcha.
because you want to, anytime there's an event with like kids and parents, you want to ask the parents first, like, hey, can I interview your kid?
Absolutely.
Don't just walk up to the kid.
Yeah.
Because the kid's gonna be like, what's going on?
Yeah.
And so she recommended your son, and it was a great interview, and it worked. Came out great for our show and for the radio station.
Okay, so over there you're working together as a team,
right?
So then you each have to find your own story each day. Or?
We do, yeah. So we get a lot of the same emails, and then like I said, Cisco,
like a press release.
Yeah. So Cisco's only education. So if it's anything education related, unless Cisco's out sick or out of town or working on something else, that's Cisco's story. But anything else is between me and Alexandra.
And Cisco was at the Yuma Sun for a long time.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So you're over there. So a press release, and then after, if it's not education for Cisco,
right?
You guys fight over it, or how does that work?
Yeah. I mean, we just
no,
make
it's
sure,
mine.
We just make sure that we don't double each other up. You know, if someone's coming to town, like the governor, or like for the Summer Tamale Festival, we had Governor Katie Hobbs, we had Senator Ruben Gallego, and we had Adelita Grijalva, the congresswoman.
Yeah.
So the three of them. So that was big news for Somerton, because usually we get just one of them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And so all three of them were here on the same day. It's a tamale festival.
So
It's
did
a
you
draw.
guys were you able to just one cover it, or did
Yeah. So actually it was like this. They always have it the Saturday right before Christmas.
Right.
Mhm.
And so the other two reporters were out of town. And so I was going to be, I stuck around. So
You were going to be
went.
there anyways.
Yeah,
So.
I was going to be there.
You're
anyways. I'm like, I'll interview them, then I'll eat the tamales.
Yeah, you're going to be eating tamales anyway.
Yeah.
So yeah, you're going to do that. So did you get to talk to Katie Hobbs?
Yes. So I was able to speak to the three of them. I got some photos for our website, and it was a busy day, but it was a beautiful day, and it was sunny and warm, unseasonably so. But yeah, I love those community events, and other events like the air show.
Right.
Any event you could think of. I've been to most of the events, at least if not to report, at least as a community member.
Yeah, just to be part of the community, to go and support and be a part of the community that you report on.
Yeah, Yuma Fight League, anything, you name it.
Yeah, absolutely. So right now they're looking for somebody to fill Lou's shoes, right?
Right. Yeah. So that's that process is out of my hands, but yeah, hopefully we'll get someone in there who can lead us well, and we'll see what happens.
Because there's other stuff like the student newsroom and like some things that he was really kind of pivotal.
And so that's evolving as well. We have, student reporters who are students here at AWC. We have a show called Siendo Primero on Border Radio.
Yeah.
That's bilingual. And so they interview student voices, and it's student led.
And that's how I originally met Dave.
Yeah.
They were doing something for that at Prison Hill. And that's how I originally met Dave years ago.
Okay.
So, yeah.
And so, those are, great things. And then we have a weekly show called Arizona Edition on that airs on both stations, on Border Radio and KAWC. That's a weekly show. It's like our best of, like the best interviews, the best stories of that week.
Mm-hmm.
And so I invite listeners to check that out.
So how did they do that? Yeah. Tell everybody where you're at.
KAWC.org, KAWC 88.9 FM. Also KOFA Border Radio. And then, check us out on Facebook. There's an Instagram. I'm on X at by Vic Calderón if you're on X. And then, just send us news tips. We want to hear from our listeners.
That's great.
We need our listeners to come on and let us know
what's
what
important to them,
what we're doing
right?
What we need to cover more of. We want that feedback and story ideas and ideas like that.
And because I would urge them as well, because there's not that many outlets that tell the Yuma story anymore.
Right.
Like we're losing 2 other radio stations here pretty soon, probably in the beginning of February, and it's getting smaller and smaller. But people have stories and things need to be heard, and so we kind of rely on the community for those things.
Very much so, and especially with public media. We've lost some of our funding federally. I'm going to get on my soapbox, but we
would like a tax deduction. Or
we rely on listener support. Contributors.
Veronica's going to help me with that. Yeah.
So we rely on community support, like Veronica, and others in our community who come on and give that monthly contribution, and that's needed more than ever, because we want to continue to tell those stories, to get on the community and to share those voices that we don't hear as much from.
Absolutely. So thank you so much for coming on. And any cool thing coming up that you're going to cover?
No. I mean, we'll see with community events. Veronica is at most community events. If it's not a community event in Yuma, if Veronica Shore is not there. Yeah.
Thank you guys.
Yeah, absolutely. We're going to look for both of you, and then we're going to go to that Suns game together.
Yes, let's go.
Right? That's going to be great. So thank you so much once again. Everybody catch them over at KAWC. And with that, we're going to get into the legal portion. What's Up Yuma Radio is a production of KAWC, Colorado River Public Media. We broadcast from the studios in the Matador Activity Center at Arizona Western College in Yuma. We want to thank our engineer, Talon Gonzalez, along with Anthony Ornelas, Juan Garcia, Dave Reek, and Cecilia.
You can find out more about KOFA at borderradioaz.org and on the KOFA app. Stay tuned for KOFA's Midday Music.
And on tomorrow's program, as soon as I can switch over here, we're going to have Brian Nance. He is from Elemental Life Spa. We're going to talk about all the cool stuff they got going on over there.
You can listen to the podcast version of our program and check out past episodes anytime at kawc.org/podcast/What's Up Yuma Radio.
All right. And then you mentioned the part of they can email us, right? Is that on there?
It's not on here.
It's not on there? Okay.
Don't forget, you can reach out to us by email at whatsupyumaradio@gmail.com.
We're going to figure this out. Well, you did begin the show really well.
Just go online and donate. That's all you need to do.
There you go. Do tell them, Veronica. And I'm looking for more sponsors for the show. So if you want to sponsor the show, we could do that. Yeah, reach out to us. Thank you, guys. We'll see you guys tomorrow.
Broadcasting from Yuma campus of Arizona Western College for more than 55 years, this is Border Radio, 94.7 FM, KOFA Yuma. We also broadcast at 1320 AM in Yuma at KAWC.org and on the KOFA app.
The 7th annual Tour de Fields bicycle ride will take place in Welton on March 21st with pre-registration and bike bash on the 20th. The event, open to participants of all ages, will feature various ride lengths, all of which wind their way past the scenic agricultural fields of Welton. More information and registration is at tourdefields.org.
BBC News with Sue.